Hello, everyone. My name is Meg Horn, and I'm a travel sales manager here at AAA Northeast. Thank you all so much for joining us this afternoon. We are so excited to have our friends from AmaWaterways here with us today. Before we get started, I just wanted to review a few housekeeping tips with you. All participants are currently muted, but we'd love to hear from you. I know I already saw a few questions in the question box, so please keep those coming. And at the end of the presentation, what we're going to do is have a little Q&A session. So like I said, anything you might have a question on during the presentation, feel free to just pop it in there. We'll review that at the end. And then also, this presentation is being recorded. So if you miss anything or have to pop off or anything like that, you can go ahead and visit our website and view it again. That's going to be on our next network, and that can be found at aaa.com/travel center. Here at AAA Northeast, safety and advocacy are pillars of our brand, and now more than ever, we want to ensure that our travelers have all of the resources and support they need to travel confidently when the time is right for them. This is why we've created the Travel Center, a simple and central resource to keep members informed on changes and updates in the travel industry. Our agents are all in the process of becoming Smart Depart certified. Smart Depart certification means that our agents are poised and ready to assist and support our members with their travel plans in our new landscape. Using a travel agent is more important than ever these days, as Smart Depart certified agents can help secure your travel plans with the peace of mind that's needed in today's world. Now that we've got all the housekeeping information, let's get to the good stuff. Who wants to find out more about saving $100 per person on 2021 and 2022 sailings, or I don't know, maybe a 2-for-1 cruise fare? I know that's got me pretty jazzed up, so I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to my friends Jasmine and Steven so they can tell you more about what AmaWaterways and these amazing presentations have for you.
Thank you, Meg. So we're going to take you through today, and we're going to show you our product around the world, and we're going to show you the benefits of river cruising. So at AmaWaterways, we have a quote that's from one of our founders, Jimmy Murphy. Oceans take you to countries, and rivers take you through them. And really, what he means when he was saying here is that a river cruise is very immersive. It takes you right into the heart of the country. Right into the city centers, we dock right in the towns. You get to rub elbows with the locals, and you spend the entire day and often the evenings right in the towns and cities. Our story, these are our owners, currently our owners. From left to right, we have Rudy and Christine. They are married. And to the right, we have Gary Murphy. Gary and Christine would be the face of the company in the trade. They're the ones that are out there every day at the conferences, meeting travel advisors, on the ships, meeting our guests. And then to the left with the glasses there is Rudy Schreiner. He is the brains of the operation. He started back in the 1980s. He developed river cruise products for 2 of our competitors now. And he's well known in the industry. He's considered the godfather of river cruising. And in 2002, he decided that he was going to start his own river cruise company, and he started AmaWaterways with Gary's father, Jimmy Murphy. What makes river cruising special? I happen to love this slide. This is a very famous image of the bend, the great bend in the Danube River. River cruising is, if you've not river cruised before, it's a very special way of seeing the old port cities and towns of Europe. And it's something that really came about, nothing to do with ocean cruising, but more to do with the old ways of seeing these port cities was on a motor coach program or a rail tour or a self-drive tour. What makes river cruising special is simply that the ship is your floating luxury hotel, 2 5-star restaurants on board. All of your meals are included. With AmaWaterways, all of your beer and wine and soft drinks included. We open the bar every night called Sip and Sail. All of your excursions are included, many different options every day. And just pack and unpack once. It's a wonderful way to see the old central parts of Europe. So where do the rivers flow? Where do we take you? Most of our product As you can see on this map, it goes through Europe. So, we're in Central Europe, the Rhine River, the Main River, the Mosel River in Germany and the Netherlands. The Upper Danube, the Lower Danube goes through the rest of Europe all the way out to the Black Sea, and then all the waterways in France, the Rhone, the Saône, the Dordogne, the Seine River. We're also on the Douro River in Portugal and Spain. So most of our product is European, but we also have exotics. We're on the Mekong River in Cambodia and Vietnam. We'll have a quick look at that later. We're on the Chobe River in Botswana in Southern Africa. And starting in 2021, we'll be back on the Nile River in Egypt, where we've had about a 10-year hiatus from that product, and we're back next year with a new ship. Now the fleet, I won't go through the entire fleet, but the slide is important in this, that we're not as big as some of our competitors, but we're much more frugal in how we build our ships and when we build our ships. We build a ship and we pay cash for the ship, and we have no debt on any of our fleet, which is very important. There's a quote there to the left by Rudy that says he can sleep at night because we are debt free. And even in current times, we have 2 new ships being built now for 2021, the Ama Siena and the Ama Lucia. And we also have 2 refurbishments from a couple of our older ships that are going through right now. So we're in a very good position cash-wise and without having any debt. And we like having a smaller fleet of 23 ships where we own all of them. Puts us in a very good position for moving forward.
Steve, I always like to mention, especially because they have that Berlitz logo on that slide, is that, Berlitz is a river cruising guide, and they actually produce it every other year. I believe it's every other year. And so Douglas Ward, who's actually the one who produces this guide, he has the best job in the world, right? He gets to get on all these different river cruise ships and he gives them ratings. So the last time he did this, there were over 320 river cruise ships that were rated. And so AMA is happy to say that we took 10 out of the top 15 rankings. And as you can see, we have a very small but mighty fleet. So it's just amazing, to hear some of those facts and details behind why AmaWaterways has the highest rated river cruise ships out there in Europe.
Good point. I think this is yours.
Yes, and I'll hop right on in there. Thanks so much, Steve, and hello to everyone on the line. Thank you so much for joining us. Just going to dive right on in here about traveling with confidence. So with AmaWaterways, right now the main focus is health and safety. And with that health and safety focus, there was a huge opportunity that came to us with a German partner, EHOI. And what they did is they decided to take some of our river cruise ships and do some local sailings for German-speaking guests. And so we were able to not only establish some protocols, but also to get some practice, help define those through sailing. So we actually started on July the 5th. And it's been 4 months of sailing, and it's been fantastic. So as you can see here, we've got some of those protocols there with the face coverings, exploring ashore. So we'll make sure that those are small groups, social distancing. The air filtration system is one that was really a blessing because we already had it implemented where every single stateroom has its own AC unit, and none of the air is ever circulated. It's always fresh coming from the outside in. So another one of those things to add there. And then we just have a few pictures from being on board that we're just going to kind of quickly go through. We've got our the purser's desk is right here in the front and center, where you can see we've implemented some of that plexiglass. You've got the hand sanitizer, the masks that are being worn in those public areas. And then, of course, when you are out of the public area and you're now more out of the transitionary area and you're headed to the public area, you can actually go ahead and remove those masks like we have there in the lounge. And so you can also see, again, that plexiglass. They're probably enjoying a drink during the sip and sell cocktail hour. And then we've also implemented some enhancements on board for dining as well. So we figured, let's do away with the buffets, but now how about having private river view dining? So that balcony just became that much more valuable, right? So you have this amazing space to really go out there, enjoy the scenery, get some fresh air, social distance if you need to, and enjoy some of the amazing cuisine that we have on board. Now, one of the biggest things about being on board during this time was trying to make sure that it felt that it felt still like home, right? You didn't want to have too many restrictions, but we wanted to make sure that you all feel safe. So it's all about still, executing with joy and happiness. As you can see here in this picture, I mean, the crew there, their dreams are coming true. They're already on the river, they're sailing, they're just able to help pamper you and make your travel dreams come true. So you can see their smiles even behind the mask. And I really love to use this picture because that captain right there in the front, you can see his smile and you can feel it, even though you can't see it. But then I have another picture here next where the captain's actually giving out that rose on the first night, and it's that same genuine smile. And that's what AMA is all about, that unparalleled service, going above and beyond, exceeding your expectations, anticipating your every need, just speaking about it. I can tell you, I can't wait to get back on board myself because I've missed it so much. Now, when we talk about those staterooms, the river cruise ships that AmaWaterways has, it's all about the luxury of personal space. We figured that it's a luxury of more. So the more choices that you have, the more space, the more of a luxury environment that we can create for you. So about 80% of our staterooms will have this design. It is called a twin balcony or a double balcony design. You have a full outside balcony on the left-hand side with 2 chairs and a table. And then on the right-hand side, there's that floor to ceiling window that slides open. So this is definitely going to be the most popular, again, at 80% of the staterooms having this design. You've got your Wi-Fi there in the stateroom. And then you also have a couple of other sizes where you'll have just a French balcony, which is the floor to ceiling sliding glass window, slightly smaller stateroom. And then you also have your entry level, which are the high windows. We like to call them swan view at 160 square feet. So no matter the accommodation, we'll make sure to take good care of you. Now, as you head out of your stateroom, you're going to walk on down the hall. Now, mind you, for those who are ocean cruisers, when you think about river, all of the staterooms are outside. There's no inside staterooms. So you're going to head on down to the lounge. So the lounge is going to be one of the most popular places to hang because, of course, you can see here it's lined with floor to ceiling windows as well. So you can really see the beautiful scenery passing you by. This is where you'll have your port briefings. This is also where you'll have your nightly entertainment every evening. We have a resident pianist. We also bring local entertainers on board to give you some of that local flavor. But this is also where you have your sip and sail cocktail hour. So the sip and sail cocktail hour is an hour before dinner every evening where you can come together and have whatever drink may be popular for the evening, like the lemon drop, which you'll see here on this next slide. And so the sip and sail cocktail hour is an hour before dinner every evening where you have unlimited champagne, wine, and beer, but then you also have the spirits that are included as well. It's a perfect opportunity to mingle with the other guests before you get ready to head on down to the restaurant, one of the restaurants, in order to have your dining experience. Now, when we talk about those restaurants, we've got our main restaurant, but then we also have a specialty restaurant. And that specialty restaurant is complimentary, and it's actually an image of it here. It's the Chef's Table Specialty Restaurant. Now, this restaurant is on the aft of each one of our ships, with the exception of the Magna, and Steve will talk to you about the Magna in a little bit, but lined with floor-to-ceiling windows, seats 28 guests, and you can actually see the chef preparing your meal for you behind a glass enclosed kitchenette. It is the absolute perfect ambiance. When we talk about the dining experience, it is a true Epicurean experience. We also like to make sure that when we say that we're immersing you into the culture, that you truly get a taste of the culture, literally and figuratively. So we're going to make sure that we provide regional specialties for you every day from the regions of which you're visiting. And what better way for us to prepare those regional specialties than for you to actually see your crew disembark every day to go get local fresh produce. So we'll use those local ingredients, we'll bring those flavors to life and really create a magical Epicurean experience when you're on board AmaWaterways. Now, I think life is all about balance. So I love to kind of dive right on into the wellness program right after the dining program, because that's what it's all about, right? So if you really want to indulge and get into those regional cuisines, you can also decide that maybe you want to work out in the morning. Maybe you want to do some champagne yoga, which is one of my favorites. Maybe you want to just do some morning stretches or a digestive walk. So we have a wellness program on board our European river cruise ships where there's a certified fitness instructor on board teaching fitness classes throughout the day, having fitness lectures. I mean, it is just an amazing addition that we've had for a couple of years now. So if that's your thing, you want to maintain your wellness routine, we have a way for you to do it. All of the classes and the engagement with the wellness instructor are complimentary, so we encourage you to take advantage of it once you're on board. Now here you can see that we're on the sun deck, and right behind the sun deck there, you can see there's a swimming pool, and that is the swimming pool with the sun on the sun deck with a swim up bar. Now I can tell you this is probably one of my favorite places to hang out, especially if you're on a summertime river cruise. Can you just imagine being in the swimming pool on the top of a river cruise ship, one of the highest rated river cruise ships in Europe, sailing down the Danube River, seeing the beautiful Oberhaus Castle, or maybe reading a book, having a cocktail? It is truly an experience like no other. In addition to the swimming pool, we do have a massage room. You can also have your hair styled. You can also get your nails done if you're on the Magna. We've got a fitness room, and a gift shop, and a couple other different amenities on board as well. But speaking of that manicure on the Magna, Steve, I'm gonna pass it over to you so you can tell them all about that magnified river cruise experience.
Thank you, Jazz. Great job. So this is the Alma Magna. Getting some feedback here. You can see the drawing, Rudy's original hand drawing of the Magna from several years ago when it was still in his brain when he was figuring out how to design it. The idea here is a ship that is twice the length of all of the other standard ships on the rivers. It can only sail on the Danube River because it's so wide. The locks there can handle a ship that wide. And you'll see in the next slide what it looks like from the rear view. There you go. So that's one of our standard ships next to it, docked next to it. So not quite double the width, but just a few feet shy of double the width. And a standard ship for AMA holds about 156 passengers. And in this case, we didn't make a larger ship to put twice as many folks on there. That holds 196. So the concept here now is let's have much larger staterooms. Let's offer suites. We go from 2 restaurants to 4 restaurants. We've got 5 bars. We go from a fitness room to a fitness center. There's all kinds of loungers on board. And it truly now is like a floating hotel. It is a beautiful ship. Jasmine and I and our colleagues had the pleasure of being on the ship last year, earlier this year. It is an amazing experience. It is the only ship in Europe this size with staterooms this size. Next slide, we'll look at some of these staterooms. And there you go. So the smallest stateroom is like a standard size stateroom on our other ships. I think the standard stateroom here starts at 205 square feet. Up to about 260 square feet would be the staterooms. And then you start with the suites. We're looking at suites that begin at 355 square feet. Then they go to 474 square feet. And then the largest stateroom, the largest suite rather, on the ship is 710 square feet. So it's like an apartment. It is truly a unique experience. And the really neat thing, technology-wise, is that the size of the ship, it's still the draft of the ship is still only 3.5 feet. So a ship that size can sail in 3.5 feet of water. It's a technological marvel. Okay, and it's got four engines instead of 2, and you can't even hear them when they're going. So just an amazing ship in many ways. It debuted in 2019, and we think if If you've done our long ships, that they're great. But if you get a chance, try something like this. Or if you're an ocean cruise customer that used to being on a luxury ship with much larger staterooms, this is a great crossover opportunity. And again, I love the fact that there's 4 different themed dining rooms. There's the standard dining room. There's Jimmy's wine bar, which is more of a laid-back family atmosphere. The Chef's Table restaurant still. And help me out here, Jazz. What's the name of the other restaurant?
The al fresco.
Oh, I love that place.
With the retractable windows.
Yes,
Yes.
what a great menu that place has too. So again, just no one has anything like this. This is the most talked about, and I'm pretty sure it's going to win Cruise Ship of the Year again this year. I saw it was nominated in something pretty large. So just a great product. So.
And Steve, I don't know if we had mentioned it, but it was also on the other slide from Time Magazine that they named it one of the world's greatest places to visit. Like, I didn't even know that ships could be qualified for that type of award. But
I think they had top 25 greatest places to visit, and it was like 19 or something like that. If I'm not mistaken, you're right. Good call, Jazz. Now, so let's look at our excursions. This is another differentiator for AmaWaterways in that we offer 5 different excursions every day that you can choose from. They're all included in the pricing. 3 different walking programs, hiking and biking programs. And our excursions always include something neat that we end with, whether it's a wine tasting or a food tasting or a culinary class, cooking class, something like that. In this particular slide, we're in Avignon, and we're on a truffle farm, and the farmer and his dog and his trusty dog is hunting truffles that day. So I think that's a really unique thing that you'd be doing in Avignon that you would remember for a long time, that you actually went truffle hunting on a real farm. So here we have the walking programs. I like the walking programs in that there's 3 different paced programs. There's gentle paced, there's moderate paced, there's active pace. If you have people that have maybe a little mobility issue, walk with a cane, or I've actually been on a tour with somebody with a walker, and the gentle pace tour was perfect for them. And we have guides, and our walking tours are broken into smaller groups, 12 to 15 people normally. So I like the fact that they're more intimate that way. And then we also have, what's next, I believe, the bike tours. We carry on our long ships about 26, 28 bicycles in most places in Europe. And, the rivers in Europe all have bike paths. So it's natural to take a bike out. You can take a bike out with one of our guides and do a guided program, or you can take a bike on your own and do your own thing. And the bike rides are not competitive or arduous. They tend to be between 15 and 25 kilometers round trip. And then we also offer hiking programs, which I like to do myself. These are usually between 2 to 3 kilometers. You'd hike up to the high point of the town or the city, usually up to the castle or the fortress or something like that, and then back down through the main square in the town. It's just a different perspective. And the neat thing here is I remember last summer I took my family. We were on the Rhine. My wife and I did something. We did a walking tour, and my adult kids did a hike through the Black Forest in Germany. So, and actually, we were in France. We were on the French side of the Rhine River doing a walking tour, and they were doing a hike through the Black Forest. And I think that's a really cool thing that not many of our competitors can say that they do. So, hiking is something you should definitely think about. And then wine cruises. Go ahead, Jazz.
It's funny that the wine was the next slide, because I was just gonna interject and say, that glass of wine that you get back on the ship after doing a hike, it just feels so well deserved, right?
Right. That's right. And you have to walk off some of the night before dinner and some of the breakfast, some of the sumptuous desserts, right? So, but we also offer wine on all of our cruises. But if you're more into wine, if you want to do a wine themed cruise, we take our itineraries and we add wine hosts to about 65 itineraries, sailings, departures during the year. And when you get a wine host from North America, that means that your excursions are going to be more focused on the wines, and your excursions are going to be more wine tastings and visits to wine cellars. And on the ship, you'll get some wine lectures, And at dinner, you'll have some pairings where you're pairing the local cuisine with the local and regional wines. So if you're a step up into wine and you want to know more about the wines, how they're grown, the history of the winemakers, then a wine cruise would be a perfect choice. I think next we have our Christmas markets. These are theme cruises now. You can see we're going through. The Christmas market season is roughly 6 weeks from Thanksgiving through to New Year's. So a 6-week season where you get to travel on the Rhine or the Danube and see how, as my grandmother used to say, the old country celebrates Christmas. And these are great for families. And our ships have cabins that can take triples and quads, and we have connecting staterooms. So great for families. It's sort of the off season, so the rates are much nicer. A lot of promos there included as well. But what I like about it is in the evenings, you can go out and you can see the photo on the right there of all of the Christmas markets in the towns, in the cities. You visit the different stalls from the vendors, you taste foods, you drink the local wines and how they celebrate Christmas, and you buy the local. My wife likes to purchase the handmade ornaments that we put on our tree when we get back to the States. So think about Christmas markets. It's not for everybody, but it's a wonderful niche market. And again, it's like the end of November through to the beginning to the 1st of January. And there's just a wonderful way to bring your family and enjoy Christmas in the old world. Now we'll look at some of the exotics. This is we sail on the Mekong River. Now I had the good fortune of going with my adult son last fall. We sailed the Mekong, and it is one of the best trips I've ever had in my life. It's so culturally immersive. Every day we're getting off the ship in Cambodia and Vietnam. We're visiting the locals. We're going to schools. We're going to Buddhist monasteries. We're visiting with families. It is life-changing. It's cathartic. I greet everyone now like this. That's how impressed I was with this part of the world. The people are beautiful. They're so down to earth. The ship is beautiful. The cuisine is phenomenal. And I just can't think of, maybe my visit to Africa, which we'll look at in a minute, rivals this. But these one of my 2 best trips of my life. So if you're thinking about that trip, if it's on your bucket list, please consider AmaWaterways. We do a great job with the Mekong.
And Steve, I have to echo your sentiments. I mean, the Mekong is hands down my absolute favorite experience with Ama. It's so immersive, and like you say, it's almost like you come back. I like to say you come back with a new set of lenses. You kind of look at life. You look at life a little bit different, and I always encourage. Yeah, definitely.
A humbling experience. Another humbling experience is Africa. These are the 2 most humbling experiences. In Africa, we sail on a stretch of the Chobe River in Chobe National Park in Botswana and Namibia, and we build itineraries around this. We build safaris around this. There's about 7 different itineraries to choose from. The ship here, the Zambezi Queen, wins the award every season for best river cruise ship in Africa. The ship only holds 28 passengers, very highly rated, and everything we do in Africa is luxury and then some. So really nice programs. Maybe at a future date we could take a deeper dive into this, but just a wonderful, another bucket list trip to be in the southern part of Africa with AmaWaterways. And then finishing up here is of exotics is Egypt and the Nile, which we will return to the Nile River after a 10-year hiatus. After the Arab Spring in 2010, we'd been sailing there for quite a bit. We took a pause just to be on the conservative side, and things are doing very well there. Many of our competitors went back onto the Nile 3-4 years ago. So now we're back on the Nile with a new ship, the Amadalia, and it's a wonderful itinerary. It's an 11-day itinerary in Cairo and on the Nile, and you can do pre and post in Dubai and Jordan and Israel. So you can, again, you can build, mix and match and build your own itinerary here, but just a lovely experience. The ship is being framed out now. It'll be ready in the spring. 68 passengers, super luxury ship. I've not done this. This is another, for me, bucket list. So I'm looking to do this myself. So a great opportunity to get back onto the Nile River.
Absolutely, Steve. I mean, that itinerary, every time I hear about it or do a training or look at the brochure,
Yeah.
I'm just like blown away from the sites that we'll visit and how much history. I mean, it is just such a historic destination. So sign me up. I can't wait till we're back out there. But I will say, for those members out there that are listening in and Egypt sounds enticing to you, you definitely want to take a look now. Reach out to your AAA travel advisor. I can tell you for 2021, it is nearly 75% sold already. So that space there is really scarce. We are open for 2022 in Egypt, though. So definitely would love to welcome you on board. That just means that it's going to take a long time for Steve and I to be able to get on board, because all of the staterooms, you all will be experiencing them, but that's what it's there for. And we can't wait to deliver that experience to you. So I'd like to go into, some of the promotional offers and AAA exclusives. We talked all about AMA and who we are and kind of how we do things. And now you want to know, well, how can I book and what offers are out there? So the first I'd like to start off with is your AAA offers, your AAA exclusives. So I always like to say that with AAA, you can triple dip. Okay, so it's kind of my thing. So AAA, triple dip. And the way that you triple dip is by taking advantage of, number one, your AAA member benefits. So on every departure, you're going to receive a $300 savings per stateroom, a bottle of wine, and a box of chocolates, right? So that's a great way to kind of welcome you on board and get your river cruise vacation started. So that's your first dip. Now, your second dip is the 2021 AAA Vacations Amenities Program. So this is about over 180 departure dates where not only do you get your member benefits, but you'll get another $100 off per person, and then you'll also receive a $75 per person onboard credit. Okay, so that's your second dip. Now, your third dip is the fact that not only are both of these programs combinable with one another, but they're also combinable with whatever promotion we have in the marketplace. And right now we are offering free air. So you can fly free to Europe in 2021, free round trip airfare. All you need to do is book by December the 31st. Okay, so that's going to be economy airfare round trip. Now, if you're looking to upgrade to business class, there is an option there for an additional $2,999 per person. This is going to be from most of your major U.S. gateways. If there are any of those smaller kind of local municipal airports, we'll just tack on just a small supplement for coverage for that smaller flight, but you will definitely still be able to take advantage of this offer. One of the things I love to mention about the free air offer is something that has just been enhanced due to our current environment is the fact that we now offer, now this is whether you're booking this promotion or any air with AMA, exclusive private airport transfers. So we will pick you up from the airport in Europe and take you either over to our hotel or to the river cruise vessel, complimentary and a socially distanced transfer. So if you're traveling with family members, we can put you all together, but if you're traveling, happen to be arriving with others who you have not already been quarantined with, then we will automatically go ahead and provide exclusive private airport transfers for every party. So great value add there, something to take advantage of. So don't forget, with AAA, you can triple dip, right? So you got your free air, you've got your $100 per person savings, your $75 per person onboard credit, your $300 savings per stateroom, your bottle of wine, your box of chocolates. I mean, at this point, you might just have the cruise for free. I'm just kidding. It's not free, but I can tell you it's the very best deal you're going to get is when you're working with your trusted AAA travel advisor. Not only do they extend you some of these great offers, but their knowledge base, their relationships, their connections are second to none. So truly, you really want to value your AAA travel advisor because they are the ones that are going to really be able to deliver the very best experience to you when you're deciding to sail with AMA. So I just wanted to add that there. Now, we do have a special sailing that I'd love to just drop off. It is a Taste of Bordeaux. If anyone is familiar with Samantha Brown, she's a TV personality. She is so amazing. She is a ray of sunlight and joy. It just makes you smile watching her show. It's called Places to Love. And she's all about connecting with the people, right? Being really immersed. And that's what all about river cruising. That's what river cruising is all about. So she's actually coming on board. Now, a fun fact about Samantha Brown, she is actually the godmother to the Alma Magna. Yes. So, of course, you had to have this wonderful big personality for this wonderful big amazing ship. So she is actually going to be hosting a cruise. It's going to be on the Alma Dolce, which is one of our vessels in France, down the Taste of Bordeaux. So you'll do a round trip Bordeaux to Bordeaux with options to stay pre or post in Paris. It includes those exclusive airport transfers. You get 2 travel talks with Samantha Brown. You'll get an exclusive dinner at the Chef's Table restaurant. You'll get a personalized Samantha Brown gift. There'll be a AAA host on board. And then, of course, you have your 24/7 member care and best price guarantee, because this is a AAA vacations date. So I can remind you that on this date, you can AAA triple dip. So if you're interested in going on this departure, let your AAA travel advisor know. Space here is a little scarce since we've been promoting it lately. Everyone's ready to go. And what better way to explore the Bordeaux region than on a river cruise vessel? Now, for you solo travelers out there, you're probably like, oh my gosh, these offers sound amazing, but what about me? Don't worry, we haven't forgot about you. We actually have a wonderful program for our solo travelers, and part of it is a welcome reception when you get on board, so you can meet other solo travelers. You can get assistance from the cruise manager on how to select your shore excursions and how to plan out your day. We do seating in the dining room where there's an odd number of seats, like a table of 5. So there's always just a seat left over for a solo traveler. We love to encourage those who want to explore on their own to come on board with us. So not only do we ensure that you feel like you're a part of the AmaWaterways family, but we also got a great rate for you. So that's the icing on the cake. So for solo travelers through the end of the year, as long as you're booking with AmaWaterways, and as long as you're booking basically any cabin category excluding suites and excluding the Alma Magna, then we will only add on a 25% single supplement. Okay, so only a 25% single supplement. You'll just need to go ahead and reserve your stateroom by the end of the year, and you can travel in 2021. So that is a fantastic offer there. Now, we also just like to always throw in a little extra, just because we love our AAA partners and all of the AAA members out there. So thank you so much for joining us this evening. Because you've taken the time out of your day to join us, we want to give a special offer to you. It was mentioned earlier, it's $100 per person savings, and that's going to be on any 2021 or 2022 booking. Doesn't matter the itinerary, as long as it travels next year or the following, we'll go ahead and give that to you. So you'll just need to book this within the next 2 weeks. So again, let your AAA travel advisor know you'd like to book, and they'll make sure to extend this extra special webinar offer to you. Now there's one more offer. Now we have to say this one a little bit differently because it's different and it's not combinable with any other offers we've just discussed. Okay, so this is a standalone offer, but it's because it's so special. It is just for you because we were having this consumer presentation with AAA Northeast. We said, you know, they're such great partners. We want to extend a very special offer to you, the members who are on this call. So if you try to call into the reservations department, it doesn't exist. If you try to go online to our website, it doesn't exist. The only way to get it is if you call in to your AAA travel advisor with AAA Northeast. So if you book any of these departure dates within the next week, okay, so next week, then we will give you a 2-for-1 cruise fare. Now, when we say 2 for 1, we really mean 2 for 1. So if you were to look at any of our printed brochures, we've taken that per person price and slashed it right in half. And I can tell you it's an amazing deal, something that definitely to consider if you know you like to travel with AMA in 2021. So Best of Holland and Belgium, that's like our Tulip Time cruise, but it'll be traveling in July of next year. The Captivating Rhine is going to go down the Rhine River. You got some Amsterdam and Basel. The Romantic Danube down the Danube River. Essence of Burgundy in Provence with options to see Mont Saint-Michel. And then, of course, you got the Melodies of the Danube, another Danube opportunity going there in August. So again, 2 for 1 cruise fare. Reach out to your travel advisor and they'll be able to extend this very special offer to you. And with that, we just like to say thank you. Thank you so much again for taking the time. If there's any questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat box. Steve and I will be here to answer any questions that you might have. We just look forward to the day when we can welcome you back on board again. The rivers continue to flow and we just cannot wait to be back on them. I know that I cannot, right, Steve?
I'd go tomorrow if they let me.
Absolutely.
You guys that was absolutely amazing. River cruising, bucket list for me. Still haven't done it. It is there. I'm ready.
Let's go. Come on,
it.
Megan. We'll take you on a good ride.
Can't wait. Honestly, you've really hit all the buckets with how we usually finish up the presentations in terms of, hey, make sure you go to your AAA agent. But these promotions, like you're saying, you can only get them with one of your AAA Northeast agents. So go ahead, give them a call. They are at the ready to book you guys. And even the questions that you actually had for the Q&A session, you've covered them. There's only one question left. And it had to do with cancellations and things like that. Any reason, cancellation details. So how is that working for you guys? I think that was the one question folks are just kind of curious, whether they have to cancel or if you guys have to, cancel one of the sailings.
Yeah, no worries, Megan. So the cancel for any reason. Well, first I'll give you just a quick recap. So the departures that were suspended this year for 2020, anyone who was suspended on those departures or were booked on that suspended departures, we issued 115% future cruise credit. So it's a great opportunity for you to earn an additional 15% interest, and it's good through December 31st of 2022. So that is what we were doing for those who were booked this year. Also, for those who were kind of a little bit more proactive and they wanted to move to 2021 sooner than prior to their departure being suspended, then we went ahead and allowed them to move to next year without any penalty. So we're all about being flexible. We want to work with you. We're all here in the same boat. So, we know that together we're better. So we'll always find a way to work with you. Now, for future sailings, we do have a fantastic cruise protection program. It's called the Travel Waiver Plus, or the TWP. Okay, so you can get this through your AAA Travel Advisor. It is $85 per person if you purchase it with our travel insurance. So you'll be speaking with your advisor to determine if you want to get AMA's insurance, if you want to go to Travel Guard or Allianz or anyone on your own or with AAA, they'll determine that. So, but if you decide that you want to book AMA's insurance, you just add the TWP for $85. If you decide to get your own insurance or maybe even get insurance through AAA, then you can add it on for $175 per person. Now, what this does for you is it says that if you need to cancel for any reason, right? So cancel for any reason insurance. Maybe you're having a bad hair day. You just don't feel like going. Maybe someone's having a baby, right? You want to stay behind. Your normal insurance wouldn't cover those items. So we have this insurance to help protect you. So anything that may have been penalized from that cancellation, we'll cover it for you in a future cruise credit. Okay, so you'll get a credit and it'll be good for 2 years. If it's a covered reason, then you just normally go through your insurance just like normal. You can add this insurance up until 48 hours prior to your departure. So very flexible there. And then also, if you do need to cancel, you have up until 24 hours prior to your departure to cancel. So again, the name of the game, flexibility. We want to give you some peace of mind. We want to encourage you to hold your space. River cruising is so small and intimate. And next year, I can tell you, it's going to be one of the best and most popular ways to travel.
Perfect. Love that. And it looks like we have some folks that are just questioning for the 2-for-1 cruise fare. Can you add a pre and post package, for instance, a pre-stay in Prague?
Absolutely.
Fabulous. Love that. And I know you guys said you do have some sailings happening now, or you did. Where was that? Was that on the Rhine? Someone was asking, was it presently?
Yeah, so that was on the Rhine River with our one of our partners there in Germany, but it's actually only for local German-speaking guests. Okay, so they are actually selling in that market and sailing in the same market. So right now we do not have that ability to sell those particular cruises to any of our Northern American guests. But of course, you know, we can't wait till we can get back out there and resume. But right now, we just have to kind of pout a little bit because the German-speaking guests are having the time of their life on the Ama Christina and the Ama Stella.
Perfect. Love that. All right. Looks like those are the questions we have in there for right now. Like I said, there were a few others, but you guys covered them on the presentation, so bravo. And just a friendly reminder, I know Jasmine and Stephen both mentioned it, but the AAA travel advisors, they are at the ready. And I mean, booking with a AAA travel advisor is part of your membership. So fantastic. And just because you're a member, you know, there's all of those dollar offs, upgrade bonus perks, and the triple dip, if I steal Jasmine's line there. So yes. Yep, don't waste any more time and just go ahead and give them a ring. As she mentioned too, a lot of the availability is starting to fill up because folks, not only that would be booking regularly, but folks that did kind of move from 2020 over to 2021. So availability is filling up quickly, which is very exciting. You know, people are all kind of just waiting to get out there and waiting for their vacations. They need something to look forward to.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think we are pretty much good to go ahead and wrap it up. I'm not seeing any more questions coming in there. Is there anything else you guys wanna add in, or? I mean, I think you've covered literally everything.
No, I was just thinking there's a couple of things that I know kind of come up, so wouldn't mind going over them. And one of them is, you know, we talk about all of these inclusions. So usually the question is, well, what's not included? Because you just named a lot of things that are included in the product. So I usually say it's your hard liquor, right? So if you're doing any spirits outside of the sip and sell cocktail hour, they'll run you maybe, you know, €6. You'll add them to your onboard bill, and you can pay for them with your onboard credit from AAA if you'd like. You know, going to the massage, getting your hair done, or anything like that. The gift shop. And then there are sometimes maybe just a handful of optional tours. They're usually ones that kind of go above and beyond. There's one that's the Mozart and Strauss concert and evening. There is an elephant encounter. There's the Abu Simbel in Egypt. So again, anything that you actually see in the brochure or online listed on the itinerary, all of those shore excursions are included. So anything you see printed there, they are included. So that was one thing. Now, the other is there's so many different river cruise companies out there. A lot of people want to know, well, what makes AMA different? And I think we went over a lot of that throughout the presentation. But Steve, were there any that you can think of that really stand out as to the differences with AMA? And I'll add a couple as well.
Well, again, I go back to the excursions, the fact that you can be in 2 different countries on the same day. People can split up and come back. The bicycles, the hiking, all of the specialty tours that are included in the excursions, the tastings and things like that. And the fact that we have fewer folks per walking tour or hiking tour. I mean, many times a hiking tour has 10 people to it, right? That's not something that you're going to find many other places in our sector of the industry. So I do think one of the main differentiators for us is the excursions and how we handle excursions.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I would have to agree with you, Steve, because when you have all those choices, you're just like, oh, wow, I have an opportunity. Sometimes it's hard to choose, right? You're like, man, do I want to
Yes.
go on this hidden walking tour, or do I want to bike down the Danube, or do I want to hike to the top of the Passau Castle? I mean, what is it that I want to do? So yes, I would say definitely the variety of shore excursions that are included. But I think a lot of it all goes back to our ownership. I think that you really feel the heart and soul of AMA because it's family owned and operated. And I think that whenever you put, the member satisfaction first, everything else comes along, and so our goal is really always to just kind of blow you away. We want you to come back raving about your AmaWaterways experience. One of the biggest things for AMA is that you may not really see commercials for us or get a lot of direct mailers and things of that sort. But we've been around for, 18 years now, and it's all been based on word of mouth. It's all been based on great experiences breeding additional great experiences. When you have an amazing time on board, it is one of the first things that you want to share with your friends and family when you get home. So I think it just kind of goes into the philosophy of AmaWaterways and how we feel like we're even part of a family. I think that that's something that can't go unnoticed and really truly makes a huge difference.
No, very true. Very, very true. And we actually did get one more question come through. I know you guys have the limited guests right now with just the German speaking and stuff, but were those folks doing COVID tests?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's a little bit different there in Germany because they have different restrictions than what we have here. Mm-hmm. So there was testing, there was the temperature checks, there was the sanitization of the luggage. So yes, that is something that was done there on site. But also we want to consider that, at the start of these sailings, Germany was completely open. So that was one of the questions that got asked, when we first started is, how does it work as far as mask off board ship? Well, off board the ship, things were, pretty much kind of going back into that normal phase. So our goal is to find out what the protocols are for the cities of which we're in, and then find out the protocols of the countries of which we're in. And then, of course, the next step in order to get our Northern American guests is to follow the protocols of the airlines. So that will all come into play once we finalize what exactly it will look like for our Northern American guests. But I'm sure that if we need to implement that COVID test here for us as well, I have a feeling the airlines will probably be the ones to implement that. You may have to, show proof of negative upon arrival. We don't know, though. That's all based on speculation right now because we aren't able to sail. But yes, we were able to ensure that everyone on board was safe. There were no positive tests on board from any of the passengers who sailed with us for the past 4 months.
Perfect. That is so great to hear. I think at this point, we're pretty much wrapping it up. I just, as Jasmine and Stephen had mentioned, right now, the AAA Travel Advisors are good to go, and we have the promotion for you, waiting for you. So just a matter of deciding which itinerary you guys are thinking of, which they all look absolutely amazing. I know I would do all of them. I can't pick right now, so it would have to be picking out of a hat, I would suppose. But if you should have any other questions, obviously reach out to your AAA Travel Advisor, or you can go ahead and reach out to AAA Travel Advisors at AAANortheast.com, or you could visit our AAA Travel Center, which is on AAA.com. But with that, I'd like to just go ahead and really thank Stephen and Jasmine for this presentation. It was absolutely amazing. So much great information. And like I said, I know I'm excited.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes, thank you so much. Everyone have a great night. And if you have any other questions, reach out to your AAA Travel Advisor. They'll be there for you.
All right. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And thank you at home as well. Everybody enjoy your day.
Thanks, Meg.
Bye.